Yo, what's up guys? Today, man, I'll be talking about the Boston Celtics advancing to the 2024 NBA Finals. The game is ending. I'm recording this video right now, currently at 10:44 p.m. right after the game ended. A very sweaty dub for the Boston Celtics facing the Pacers tonight without Tyrese Halliburton. They 4-0 sweep the Indiana Pacers on the road, and another close game. I believe games 1, games 3, and game 4 have all really been close games. The Pacers on the stretch, you've seen their youth, you've seen their inexperience, you've seen their lack of having their star player Tyrese Halliburton. You've just seen a very young team, a team that really was not supposed to be here. And let's get to the final plays of the game. So obviously the Derek White clutch 3, and also the clutch rebound by Jrue Holiday as well, right after he hit a clutch and 1. And I tweeted this out earlier. How was Jrue Holiday always randomly open in the paint for like a wide open layup? Jrue Holiday is just, the counting stats aren't there for his like all-star seasons, but his efficiency is at a career high. His defense is still one of the best in the NBA, and he's a part of the best defensive backcourt we've seen in recent memory with himself and Derek White. But other than that, let's get into the Derek White shot, and then I'll break down. I even have my live reaction to the last Tatum shot as well, with Jrue Holiday once again in the game-winning rebound. I don't know why they didn't even foul Jrue Holiday, but I digress. The Pacers showed their experience. Rick Carlisle can have all these comments in the post-game and things like that. Like, yeah, we're some shit around the lines of, yeah, man, we're gonna go get the next one, and complain about refs and things like that. And then his team comes out and again in the clutch shits themselves like it's their day job. Like, other than that though, let's just get into the Derek White shot. So go ahead and quickly just break this down, make sure the audio isn't too high. So you see Jaylen Brown with the ball, you see Miles Turner on him, 6 seconds left to go. Derek White is literally just wide open in the corner. I believe he shoots like damn near 40% from 3. You see Jrue Holiday, you see Nembhard, and looks like all 3 guys are Jaylen Brown right now. Andrew Nembhard, Miles Turner, and TJ McConnell. Neesmith's on the wing with Tatum. Siakam's on the left corner with Al Horford. Jrue Holiday is wide open, so Brown can literally just pass it, or he can literally hit Derek White wide open again. TJ McConnell, why are you not on Derek White? And let's go ahead and just break this down real quick. So Jaylen Brown, he fakes it. I honestly would not be surprised if he would have hit Tatum on the shot, because Tatum is the superstar player, is the best player in the team. But he hits Derek White for the biggest shot of his entire NBA career, and Derek White does Derek White things. Knocks it down, nothing but net. Cold-blooded shot by Derek White, who has to be the best role player in the league. I know during that Knicks series, people were like, is Josh Hart the best role player in the league? I think Derek White is the best role player in the league. And again, it comes back to, how do you define role players? By the way, this is a Celtics team without Kristaps Porzingis. People might call an elite role player. I will flat out say that Kristaps Porzingis is a star level player in this league. But if you say Porzingis is an elite level role player, then I guess he might be the best role player in the league. But again, my definition of role player is not Kristaps Porzingis. He's like a 20-point per game scorer. One of the best shooting bigs in the league, one of the best shooters in the league, plural. And he is also an all-level caliber player as well. Remember early on in the All-Star buzz, people were talking about Derek White for All-Star. I'm like, come on, like, be fucking real. Derek White's probably the best role player in the league, but be fucking real. He's one of the best defensive guards in the league, and he's definitely one of the most underrated shooters in the league as well. And then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and just break down this, and I'll break down the whole entire series. But it's the final 33 seconds just about of the Celtics and Pacers game. I have my live reaction, which corners, but actually my MacBook right over here, and I'm gonna go ahead and just break this down for you guys, and I'll get into the recap of the series. But yeah, like, I was watching this game, like, I rate the amount of turnovers. The Pacers literally had at least 2 turnovers, missed shots, Siakam missed, and then they come down the Celtics, like Jaylen Brown missed a layup, and then just bad shots and turnovers. Like, oh my god, it literally just pissed me off. I'm not a fan of any of these. I'm a Miami Heat fan, but just pisses me off watching this team in the clutch shit themselves once again. Like, they could very well be up, like, this could be a tied 2-2 series. They could be up 3-1 if they loaded the close games. Like, you're without your best player, and you come down to all of this, and then you just shit yourself. Like, oh my god. Let me just take a play on this video. So here's my live reaction right here to the game. So you see Miles Turner on Tatum, kind of little push off. Clanks this. Jrue Holiday.
You gotta, nope. Your way you let Drew Holiday get that rebound.
Like Aaron Neesmith, bro. Again, also, because you have Miles Turner. Miles Turner also isn't a good rebounder. I'm not going to say Miles Turner was out there against that rebound. Miles Turner is like one of the worst rebounders for a center in the league. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. So, Holiday misses it. You see Brown boxing out. I believe that is... So you see Neesmith, he's running right there. I believe this is Andrew Nembhard at Jaylen Brown's kind of boxing out. Drew Holiday just randomly just wide open. Nobody's on him. I believe maybe Neesmith's either running to Holiday, or I think he's actually running to the ball, but Holiday also running to the ball as well. So Tatum misses the shot. Drew Holiday crashes the glass, soars over for the board, over Aaron Neesmith again. Like Siakam was probably the best rebounder on this team. He's in the corner with old man Al Horford. And usually Neesmith, he has just getting the ball. I mean, the ball literally looks like in his hands. And if I click play, Drew Holiday takes the ball, and they don't foul him. Let me just click play, because I'm a live reaction right here. Let me just click play. Let me just shut up.
You gotta, nope. Your way you let Drew Holiday get that rebound. Nope.
And they didn't foul.
Not a pisser, not a routine. Nah, bro. Bro, what the hell was that late game execution, bro? Hell no.
Like,
so this back to the finals, bro. What the Pacers? Y'all need to go back to the drawing board, bro. What was that late game execution, bro? Hell nah. Rick Carlisle, bro. Hell nah, bro. What the fuck was that?
Like, literally, bro. Like, let me cook, bro. Literally, let me cook. But a little series recap. So this Pacers obviously go down. They lose every single game of this series. They get swept. What is the last time somebody in the ECF or the conference finals at least got swept? Last year, the Nuggets swept the Lakers. Okay, I digress. In the East, though, I remember my Miami Heat, we were up 3-0. We almost blew the first 3-0 lead, maybe in sports history. We prevailed in Game 7, embarrassed the Celtics on their own court. Celtics fan will be like, oh, but Sam got injured. Well, Jimmy Butler was injured all series, and you didn't like us using that excuse. So I digress, though. This isn't about last season. It's about this season. So Tatum obviously had that really good game in Game 3. Overall, though, definitely wasn't like great. We know Tatum can be at least a top 10 player in this league. At points, Tatum could be a top 5 player in this league. Remember a couple years back in the Sixers in Game 7, he had a phenomenal, probably the best game of his whole entire NBA career. Phenomenal game to close that out in 7 games and go on to the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals of 2023. Yeah, Tatum, he definitely rebounded the ball pretty well. Played to make the ball pretty well, but he definitely wasn't putting up like 40 a game or something like that, like 35 a game. Maybe he was just putting up his regular season stats, like 26 to 28 points per game on decent efficiency. As always, just taking those turnaround fadeaway mid-range jumps instead of attacking the rim, falling in love with the 3-point shot. Even though like sometime through the series, he literally there was like I believe like a BR betting, I think, tweet that he didn't hit like 2.5 threes in at least 5 consecutive games, and then he hit it the next game after that. Good jinx. Al Horford, I've been chatting about the amount of clutch threes he hit, especially in that game 3 down the stretch. Tatum behind the back pass, Al Horford in the corner knocks it down. I believe he has 6 threes in Game 3, so Al Horford had a phenomenal series. Drew Holiday, we were talking about Drew Holiday's efficiency being sky high, but his volume was nowhere near close to where it used to be. Drew Holiday had a phenomenal series defensively. He was amazing on Andrew Nembhard, making him take some shots. Nembhard was definitely getting a lot of good shots on Drew Holiday and Derek White, but he was making it tough for Andrew Nembhard. And he got that clutch steal as well in Game 3. He hits the and one first on them. Next possession, he gets the steal on Andrew Nembhard, and they don't foul him in transition. Like, it's just like, maybe they do foul him. I forgot. But Drew Holiday in the clutch. And again today with a clutch and one. The threes he was hitting, the ability to get to the rim, the clutch rebound like Drew Holiday, man. People will laugh at that contract, but I saw people, like I said, laughing at that contract. But at the end of the day, like, this is what the Celtics need. I mean, he's not somebody that's game is gonna age bad. He doesn't rely on too much for athleticism. I mean, he definitely relies on his ability to defend and his ability to shoot, but you don't lose your shooting like by like an insane amount as you get older, like you do athleticism. So he can still be a very good player. And also with the CBA going up year by year, probably to have like $90 million is gonna be for the next Supermax contract. Like, it's going to be a steal at the end of the day. I was actually watching a game 2 with my boy Roberto, big Celtics fan, and we were talking about the Jaylen Brown contract, and I was like, yeah, might be a lot right now, but in the future, that Jaylen Brown contract, a lot of people are going to have that contract, and it's maybe look like a potential steal. So at the end of the day, at least he got out of the way quickly. So you don't have to pay that even more for him and also Tatum as well. So I also don't know, how are the Celtics going to afford this team? The starting five of Jrue Holiday, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, and Kristaps Porzingis. Like, how are they going to afford that, by the way? Again, like I mentioned earlier, they swept this series without, in my opinion, the third best player in Kristaps Porzingis, who literally just fully unlocks this team. Like, yes, the Pacers were without Halliburton, they were without their six-man Benedict Mathurin, and they really wouldn't have been there, in my opinion, if OG Anunoby and Josh Hart and Mitchell Robinson and a lot of those guys for the Knicks and Brunson in Game 7 didn't go down with an injury, even though they did shoot like 67% or 70+% from the field, even though I was literally out taking pictures. I opened my phone up after I taking some graduation pictures, college graduation, shout out to your boy, and I'm like, they shot 1% from the field? I tune in, I'm third quarter, it's like an 8-point game, 6-point game, and then the Knicks just trolled and the Pacers did not look back. Yeah, big shout out to Jrue Holiday. Big shout out to Derek White. How many clutch threes did he hit? How many blocks did he have? Like Miles Turner on the bigs. He's one of the best shot blockers for a guard we've seen in recent memory. Just a phenomenal two-way player. Very, very underrated. Definitely one of the better, in my opinion, the best role player in the league, depending on how you obviously gauge and define role players. Jaylen Brown, a phenomenal series. I believe he was the best player in the series for the Boston Celtics. No, I don't think he's the best player in the Celtics team. I think that is Jason Tatum. I believe he has all the potential in the role to be one of the top 10 players in all basketball. I think he is right now still the top 10 player in basketball. Jaylen Brown, in my opinion, got a little disrespected. He was definitely left off of the All-NBA list. Jaylen Brown getting to the cup this series was phenomenal. Getting to the mid-range, clutch buckets, hit some timely threes. That clutch three in the at the end of the fourth quarter of Game 1 to literally make this a potential 4-0 sweep. If Jaylen Brown misses that shot, the Pacers have all the momentum in the world, and who knows, maybe they win another game. Maybe they're not, and they definitely wouldn't be in this predicament of getting swept. So shout out to Jaylen Brown. He played phenomenal. Definitely thing I want to mention about Jaylen Brown is I really feel like his defense this season is very, very underrated. A couple years back, or maybe even 2 years ago, I definitely thought his defense definitely took a step back. Got a $200 million supermax deal. He did not just like chill. He definitely continued to work on his game. He's definitely a better player this season than he was last season, especially defensively. And definitely want to give a big shout out to Jaylen Brown. Outside of that, though, not really too much. I mean, not really a big series for a guy like a Sam Hausen. I mean, they gave Xavier 2 minutes. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Luke Cornett is injured. Couple of minutes here and there for him, but outside of that, nothing too crazy. Celtics don't even shoot that well today from 3 in Game 7. 14-44, 31.8%. This is a game the Pacers need to win. I mean, I'll give them a couple of guys some love for the Pacers team. Starting it off with Andrew Nembhard. I believe he's locked in starting shooting guard spot for the Pacers in 2024. A backcourt of him and Halliburton definitely looks to be pretty good for the future. Benedict Mathurin has to be like relegated now to the six-man role. I mean, it sucks for him. He's like a top 10 pick out of Arizona. That's pretty good potential. He's in a Rising Stars game, but I think his role right now has to be off the bench at the shooting guard small forward position, because Aaron Neesman's locked in at 3. He's definitely one of the most underrated 3D guards in this league. I mean, if you want to move him to the bench for him, I mean, I guess. I mean, his contract is pretty cost effective. It's not too much money. It's definitely, I would say, a good big bargain. But at the end of the day, like, this is the backcourt of the future. I mean, Nembhard had a phenomenal series going against the best defensive backcourt in the league. He gave them buckets, especially in the mid-range game. I made a tweet in game, I want to say 3, and one of my Celtics mutuals commented under the tweet. It was like, so the base of the tweet was like, damn, Andrew Nembhard reminds me so much of Gabe Vincent. And he was like, why? Because he's having a fake Mickey Mouse series. I'm like, okay, you might be having a insanity series like Gabe Vincent did for my Miami Heat last season. But hey, they were number 2. They both have braids, and they both get to the mid-range. Pretty good three-point shooters, pretty streaky. Don't really get to the rim too much, even though I would say Nembhard gets to the rim a lot more. Not a lot more, but a decent amount more than a Gabe Vincent. The left think potential is definitely better. Gabe Vincent is like damn near like gotta be pushing 30, and Nembhard is like in his early 20s, just got out of college at Gonzaga. I believe his brother as well just went to college at Gonzaga as well, transferred from the Big East. The Providence Friars fan, of course I knew that, going from Creighton to obviously, like I just mentioned, Gonzaga. Nembhard, phenomenal series, get into the mid-range, get into the cup. He's a pretty underrated defender as well. Obi Toppin a renaissance season. Definitely did not expect him to be this good, especially from the 3-point line this season. I know he's going to be an absolute just joy to watch in the fast break with him and Tyrese Halliburton. Even the couple of games without Tyrese Halliburton, he was still really good to get into the cup, showing off a little bit of the mid-range game, getting into the 3-point shot, and even at points guarding Tatum decently well. I'm not going to say he clamped Tatum, but definitely was on him decently well. Siakam has shown that he's at least a number 2, that he's at least a number 3, maybe even a number 2 option in the championship level team. I mean, he did win a ring a couple years back when he was with the Raptors as like a 2-3 with himself, Kyle Lowry, and Kawhi Leonard obviously being the number 1 option, obviously sending Jimmy Butler and Sixers home and Joel Embiid home when they had a team with Ben Simmons back a couple years back with that shot from Kawhi that literally just kind of like doinked in, like just one bounce and it just went in. But yeah, definitely shout out to Siakam. Though he had a pretty good series, especially in that game 2. And then Rick Carlisle just took out the starter with like 9 minutes to go, and apparently randomly I was looking at my boy Roberto when we were watching the game at his house, and we both looked at each other like, what? When they announced that Tyrese Halliburton was injured, we didn't even see him get injured, and then randomly he's just out. Like, that just didn't make any logical sense at all. TJ Mikado, man, I mean, he had a phenomenal series. I mean, he had a phenomenal playoff series overall. Man, get into the mid-range, being a pesky defender, get into the rim, hitting an occasional 3-point shot as well, even though he literally had right up in 3 tonight, and he didn't have enough confidence to take it, and he ended up passing it out to Siakam, and he ended up getting a turnover. So again, late game execution was off for Rick Carlisle. Needs to be better. They need Tyrese Halliburton back. And in my opinion, they're still a piece away. I mean, Miles Turner had a couple of good games, especially that game when he had a sidestep 3. I was like, whoo! Okay, Miles Turner, but at the end of the day, Miles Turner, you cannot rely on him to be your number 3 option in the championship level team. He's definitely one of the worst rebounding guards. He's one of the worst rebounding starting centers in the NBA. His post game isn't as advanced as you would think it is. His 3-point shot comes and goes, so I think you still need a number 4 option. I mean, I still think you need a number 3 option. Resign Siakam, you traded 3 first picks for him. You fit pretty well with the Pacers. They would not be as far as they were this season and going to the ECF without him. I mean, just look at him in that series against the Bucks. We started off with 230, maybe 30, even 35-point games to finish a couple of games in that series. He had a couple of games against the Knicks as well, and then he had that game 2 that was really good against the Celtics in a pretty solid series overall. Getting into the mid-range, getting to the cup, hitting the occasional mid-range shot, and again to the free throw line as well. Definitely struggled a little bit from the free throw line. These playoffs, definitely needs to improve with that. Definitely needs to see him improve in terms of the 3-point shot. But I feel like you trade three first picks for him. You trade away Bruce Brown. You go ahead and resign Siakam and unlock Jarris Walker. He's the top 10 pick. Didn't really get minutes. Ben Shepherd was pretty solid. He was a 2nd round pick. He got minutes, but I want to see Jarris Walker minutes, even though I don't know how they're going to do that. They have all these forwards with Siakam and Neesmith and Toppin and Jarris Walker. Like, I don't know where they can find all the minutes for him, but definitely did not expect the Pacers to be all the way here. They definitely could have had a better fight if they actually close out the games better, but I digress. They really weren't supposed to be here. So at the end of the day, this is a very successful season for the Indiana Pacers. Definitely need to build on this, but don't just think that you're just one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference and not make enough moves, because you're definitely a piece away, like I mentioned, maybe even 2 pieces away. So definitely don't just think that you're one of the best teams in the league. Hopefully that didn't give them that idea, because they did get swept, even if they did have a phenomenal season overall leading up to obviously eventually getting swept. But I digress. Great season, Pacers, Celtics. As a Heat fan, I don't really want to congratulate you on advancing to the finals, but congratulations to the finals. To all the good Celtics fans out there. Just to my boy Roberto, actually. I don't know if he messaged me back, but definitely shout out to the actual good, logical, and not a brain dead Celtics fans out there, because I definitely know a lot living in New England. All right, to be specific, a lot of good Celtics fans out there. Shout out my boy Ian, if you know my TikTok. Ian Angelo, definitely a good Celtics fan. Shout out to him. But I think that's it for me. Celtics win 105-102. They sweep the Pacers, and we might get 2 sweeps with the Mavericks potentially sweeping the Timberwolves tomorrow. I mean, if they sweep them, I'll make a video tomorrow. But hey, we're only a game away potentially from the NBA Finals between Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks, man. I cannot wait for that. That would feed families. Kyrie gets to form a team. Luke potentially getting a first ring, cementing himself as one of the better players of the 20th century, and definitely moving up a lot in that all-time NBA list. So, hey, We will be there. We will be there. But other than that, yo, that is the video. So go down below, drop a like, comment down below, sub up, Mr. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok. And boy John. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm out, man. Peace.